So I think this is going to have to be in two pieces now. Had to go answer the door. Where were we? We have this last one. So looking at the slope, 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. So the slope is 4. So go down 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left one to get the y-intercept. Y-intercept is -5. And our slope is +4. So our slope is +4, so 4x and -5 for the y-intercept. And the domain in between 1 and 2 with closed circles. 1 is less than or equal to x, is less than or equal to 2. And that's it for piecewise functions. Oh no, I'm sorry, example 4 we needed to know. So example 4 is an absolute value graph. You guys remember absolute values graphs, functions look like, they look like a V. So if you think about it, this could be a piecewise function because you could write an equation for the left leg, write an equation for the right leg, and then it would be a piecewise. So they're saying take this function and write it as if it were a piecewise function. So what I need to do is get the vertex of this. And when we were graphing these, we never had any where there was a number inside the absolute value. So all we have to do simply is just factor it out. 6 times the absolute value of x plus 3. Why 3? Because I'm distributing. 6 times x is 6x. 6 times 3 is 18. And I'm just doing that so I can get the vertex. So the vertex of this guy would be -3, 0. Remember, it goes opposite, same. And so I can just do a quick little sketch of how this graph looks. So it's crossing through -3, and it's going up with steep legs. I don't need to actually count to do those. I just wanted to visualize what it looks like on the grid. So now let's take this left leg and write its equation. It has, now I use the same function here. It has a negative slope, and it would be crossing the y-axis through a negative number. So its equation is -6x minus 18. And then the domain, sometimes they put the word 4 in front of the domain. The domain is going through -3, and it's only on the lesser side. So x less than or equal to -3. And now let's do the leg on the right, the red one here. Same equation. It's now, though, a positive slope, and it would have a positive y-intercept. So 6x plus 18. And this is on the other side of -3, the greater than side. So x is greater than -3. Now what they'll do is, when you'll notice this in your homework, that you just have to make sure one of them has the equal sign. Because if the other one doesn't, the equal sign of the other is compensating for that. So I feel like it would be okay to just put it on both of them, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, but just be aware that on your homework you'll notice that they usually just put it on one of them, and it actually doesn't matter which one you choose, just one of them has to have the equal sign. Again, please pause and practice doing letter B on your own, and then come back to the video. This is the negative sign in front, means this is opening downwards, and its vertex is 0, 3, because it would be x minus 0 plus 3, since there's not another number added or subtracted inside the absolute value symbols. 1, 2, 3. So this guy is crossing, its vertex is 0, 3, and this is upside down. It's opening downward because of that negative sign. So let's look at the leg on the left. Y equals, that is a positive slope, 1x or just x plus 3, and its domain is less than 0. It's on the left side of 0. X is less than or equal to 0. And now the leg on the right, y equals, that is a negative slope, negative x plus 3. And its domain is on the right hand side. X is greater than 0. This was the step function that we are omitting, and the try it for it. This was just a little review about horizontal and vertical lines. We already talked about the horizontal lines. Horizontal lines have a y in their equation. They're crossing the y-axis. Y-axis, x-axis. So y equals 3 is horizontal line. Oops, that was horrible. Horizontal line through 3. Y equals negative 2. I should do different colors here. Y equals negative 2. Horizontal line through negative 2. Y equals 0. Horizontal line through 0. And x's would be crossing the x-axis. X equals 2. Vertical line through positive 2. X equals negative 4. Negative 2, negative 4. Vertical through negative 4. X equals 0. Vertical through 0. Notice the y-axis, the equation for the y-axis is x equals 0. The equation for the x-axis is y equals 0. The letter in the equation matches the axis that is actually crossing. And that was it for 1.3. 1.5 now. 1.5 is a way to solve equations, but to use a graph instead of just regular old solving the equation. Like, look at this equation. I could easily solve that for x. I would subtract 20 from both sides, and then after that, I would divide both sides by negative 3. But this section is showing us that there's more than one way we can use graphing actually to solve this. So what we do is we treat the left side and the right side separately. So we're going to say that the left-hand side is a function, y equals negative 3x plus 20. And then I take the right-hand side and I say that that is a function as well, y equals 5. I graph both of them, and wherever they cross, that is your answer. So we have to put axes on this grid, and it worked out best doing it a little bit on the left-hand side for the y-axis, down low for our x-axis. Actually, I'm going to go lower, undo, because I know my 3x plus 20. I'm going to go by 2's on this grid so I can reach y-intercept of 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And it's got a negative 3 slope, so negative meaning going down to the right, rise over run. So down 1, 2, 3 over 1. Down 1, 2, 3 over 1. I could also see that as 6 over 2. Going down 2, 4, 6 over 2. 2, 4, 6 over 2. 2, 4, 6 over 2. So there is that line. And the other line, y equals 5, vertical or horizontal through 5. 2, 4, 5. So we're just interested in where these two are crossing each other. And remember, we're solving for x. So it's the x value of that point that I want. This point is over 5 and up 5. So that actual ordered pair is 5, 5. But it's the x value that we want for our answer. X is equal to 5. And sometimes one of the sides is not a line. In this one, it's an absolute value. Again, I do the same thing. I take the left side, set it equal to y. And I take the right side and set it equal to y and graph each of those. I've got to draw the axes again. I'm going to put the y-axis way over and the x-axis kind of low so that they fit on here. The absolute value. Remember, it's missing the number on the outside here. That makes it a 0, HK. Our vertex then is positive 4, 0, to the right 4 and up 0. And there's no number in front of the absolute value. That means it's a 1. So each of the legs is going up by 1s. Up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1 in either direction. So there is, it's hard to draw these nice straight lines on here. And the other side, 1/2 x plus 1. Y-intercept is positive 1, and our slope is positive 1/2. Rise 1, run 2. Rise 1, run 2. And I'm going to keep going with that until they cross. There we go. So we're looking for the x values of where they cross. So that's an x value of 2. That guy's x value, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And so x is equal to 2, 10. 2 answers for x instead of 1 because it's crossing twice. All right, please practice. Put a pause and practice doing number B, and then push play again to check your work. The axes, put it about 4 units over from the left and in the upper quadrant or the upper section for your x-axis. Negative absolute value of x minus 2. The vertex would be 2, 0, opposite same, over 2, up 0. And this is a pointing downward absolute value where the legs are 1s. The slope 1 over 1 on each side. There we go. And hopefully I can draw a nice straight, not very good. Other side, negative 1/2 x minus 2, it's crossing through minus 2, and our slope is negative. Down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. And I keep going until it crosses. All right, and this point here on the left is 0, negative 2. This point here on the right is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then down whatever it is, 2, 4, 6. 8, negative 6. Again, it's our x values that we want. So 0 and positive 8. X equals 0, 8. And that is it for 1.5. And that's it, you guys. Your homeworks are the Envision onlines, the 1.3 and the 1.5. Please email me anytime you have a question.